So I guess we'll start off with, are you guys, it kind of looks like you might be back in the classroom. Are you guys back at doing kind of school in the classroom now, or is it still a lot of virtual stuff? What are you guys up to right now?
As of right now, it's virtual. Today
Okay.
was our last virtual day. I think we're going back to like classes next week.
Okay. All right. How's that process been? Have you gotten kind of used to not having to go into school every day? Are you kind of accustomed to this whole new situation?
Um, I guess. I don't really
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's
Is it?
kind of up in the air because we were in person and then we were virtual, in person, virtual, and now we're going back to in person. So it's kind of just been like flip-flopping.
Yeah. I mean, everybody always likes to say that, teenagers and whatnot, you guys are pretty flexible. You're young. You can go with the flow. I mean, how difficult has it been to kind of bounce around from what you guys have been expected to do? And obviously, a lot of it's very new and everything, too. So, how's that process been?
Personally, it hasn't been like crazy hard.
Hmm.
It's just me. I feel like it has been pretty difficult for a lot of seniors just because a lot of things were kind of just not here. So it's
Yeah.
definitely weird.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you start making your way through things here, high school sports are on hold. I know, last year was a great year out on the basketball court for you with the Sutherlin Bulldogs there. And I was just kind of curious, what have you been able to do during all of this with no real consistency of being able to have practices and being around your teammates and your coaches and things like that at the school? What kind of things have you been doing to try and, I guess, stay active, stay in shape, and be ready for whenever you hopefully get a chance to be back out there on the court?
I know a couple players on our team, including myself. We've been like going out to the track and doing agility work, doing quick work. We've gotten out to like play in outdoor courts.
Hmm.
So we're getting together, we're doing things. We're putting in work, and so we're not
Yeah.
letting not being able to get into anything stop us.
I know, basketball definitely is a sport where you get a lot of club teams and things like that. Have you had an opportunity to kind of play on any other teams that weren't the Sutherland team to be able to kind of at least get some of that competition in, or has it been mostly just individual work for you?
This summer and kind of into the fall, I was able to get on a club team, but um, it's mostly kind of just been with our Sutherland team.
Yeah. What was it like playing on a club team? I mean, did you guys get to play here locally mainly, or were you traveling a little bit to play some games?
We traveled a lot. We didn't get
Yeah.
to play locally. Um, it was good. It was
Yeah.
nice to be able to play with like some upper level kids, but I also really enjoy playing with our team, and we're we're good. So
Yeah. Well, absolutely. You guys had a great season last year, 25-3 last year, made it to the state championship game. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to get a little bit of revenge in that last one for a previous loss against Klatskanaib there. But, this team, you mentioned a couple other folks have been able to, you've been staying in contact, working with some of the other teammates there and finding out what they're doing and working. And have you been able to kind of do any sort of outdoor activities or anything with teammates, or have you seen your teammates anytime recently?
yeah, we've been able to do some open gym type things.
Yeah.
We're getting together as a team.
Yeah. What have you guys with Coach Grotting, have you guys been working through drills? Has he given you things to to keep you guys kind of sharp for whenever you guys get a chance to get back together?
Yeah, 100%. He always gives us drills, and he's always
Yeah.
having us do something. So
What are some of the things that he's been having you guys do while you're waiting to get back to this stuff?
right now we're kind of just doing a bunch of like individual skill work and working on like our down low moves, um, and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, he kind of just has us do a bunch of skill work right now, like ball handling, learning. We're getting a lot stronger. We're doing a bunch of lifting. He's putting us through a bunch of agility and footwork type stuff. Yeah, so.
It's different than what you would expect to have in a normal off season and leading into any year, let alone your senior year. It's different. How do you feel like that will impact the season, whatever season you guys end up getting, for you or for other teams, how do you feel like this will end up impacting sports, all this time off that you guys have had?
Um, I feel like it's definitely going to be a huge impact, especially on like younger kids, just
Yeah.
because as we're supposed to be in basketball season right now, like we're supposed to be like halfway through league at this point, and so a lot of the younger kids don't have the experience right now, and so they're not learning what they're supposed to be learning as freshmen and sophomores. And so I feel like that's a huge impact. And for upperclassmen, I feel like there's an impact, but I feel like it's not as much as the younger kids, because we've kind of gotten used to the play and things, and we kind of know what to do, but it's still a huge impact because we're not being able to play games. We can work and we can work and we can work, but we don't have that gameplay, which is what you're striving for.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of just a really like not progressing at this point.
Yeah, no, and that makes a lot of sense with the young kids, especially, you've been through a season. So whenever you get a chance to play, you know what that's like. For a young kid that's going to be experiencing it for the first time, once they finally get out on the court, it's going to be completely new for them. And, a lot of nerves can really kick in at that point. As you guys look at, I mean, it's not a normal season. You were a team that last year, this Sutherlin team made it to the state championship game. It's a program that has a ton of success. And so I know going into this year, you guys would have had those kind of same aspirations to try and get back to that point. With it being a different season, and it's not likely you'll have much of a postseason kind of competition or whatever. What do you feel like your senior year is going to mean to you, and if and when you do get a chance to get back out there on the floor?
Senior year is definitely just like a big, at this point,
Mm-hmm.
I just really am hoping for a season. Personally, I am not like crazy into the like dances and all those things. I kind of just want my sports seasons. That's kind of like where I live my life. Like I put in work every single day for the game of basketball. And so like having a season to me is just like would be a huge, like I'd be so grateful for it, because I mean that's where like I put my passion, and that's where like I feel I put a lot of emotion. And so that's what it would mean to me, because
Mm-hmm.
it's just I really really want a season.
I'm sure that not having like a chance at a state championship that you would normally see is got to be disappointing. But do you think that takes away anything from, if you get a chance to have a season and play? I mean, it sounds like that's very important to you. Would it take away anything if you guys didn't have a chance to try and bring home a blue trophy like you would in any other year?
Yes and no, just because I feel like basketball, I mean, we have a successful program. And so, and any team out there, I feel like you have like your whole season is up to get up to that tournament, and like
Mm-hmm.
the whole season, and that's the purpose of it. And so to not have that ending, and to not have that like goal for the end of everything, and to not, and have like such a long 5 months to not have that like ultimate goal
Mm-hmm.
is really, really like devastating. But since this year has been so hard, I feel like just the opportunity to play and get a season is all we can ask for right now.
Hey, I mean, that's a good mindset. And the fact, hey, whatever we get, we'll be happy, and get just the fact that we get a chance to be out there and doing it is definitely a big thing there. As we talk here, Jaydn Vermillion, our guest here on the program, as you get ready for it, how do you feel like this year's team is shaping up? I mean, like we said, there's no possible state championship run for you guys. So, but the feeling might be a little bit different. But as you look at it, how competitive do you think this team is? What are going to be some of the things that you guys have a chance to do well when you get a chance to compete against other schools?
I think we're good. Yeah. I think we're definitely in a good spot right now. We have work to do. I feel like every team has work to do no matter what, but we're definitely really strong. We're definitely really like mentally there. We have so many like new young kids that are willing to work hard and put the work in, and us as like upperclassmen, you don't have to ask them to do things. They're like, hey, like, can we come do this? And we're like, oh yeah, of course, like come do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like that's really a plus right now, and our whole program is really just like dialed in to like what has to happen, and they know what needs to happen. And so that's really nice to see with this program right now.
What do you think basketball, sounds like it's going to be a little bit, still got a little wait to go here. We're hoping to get some sports back in the coming months or so, or, coming weeks, I guess, at this point. But for basketball, maybe you still have some time to think about these things. But for you personally, and then maybe as a team, what are some of the goals you think you guys will set to try and accomplish it in whatever kind of year you end up getting?
I think a goal that we would definitely want to go for is to go undefeated, like not have any losses. Um, since there probably is going to be no power rankings, we can't really have like
Yeah.
rankings or anything. Probably like have a goal to like win league. Um, yeah, I think most of it will probably just be like knowing, like playing how we are meant to play and how we know we should play.
Hmm.
Just because we're going to have such a little time to perfect everything. And so if we like put the work in and we play how Sutherlin plays, I think that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in a year where it's kind of hard to judge yourself off of your results because it's going to be such a weird year,
Mhm.
playing up to what your guys' standards are is a total understandable goal there. Um, Now, I know that, obviously a great year for you last year, all state. You were one of the top players in the state last year in basketball. I forget though, and I probably could have looked this up, but I didn't get a chance to do it. Are you a multiple sport athlete up there? Are you planning on doing anything else during this kind of weird season?
Yeah, so I also do soccer and track and field.
Okay, yeah.
I'm currently working on all three of them.
Hmm.
And so, yeah.
So even with a shorter season for each sport and each season this year, you're planning on trying to do all three?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know that there's going to be overlap in between all of them, but since it is a senior year, I feel like I need to put my all into all three and not just like give up on one. And
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Hey, it'll keep you in shape the whole way through.
yeah.
You'll be ready to go. No downtime getting ready for that. What are the hopes for you after this? Are you looking to pursue a possibility of continuing to do some competitive team athletics in the future at the college level?
Yeah, I definitely am looking into it. I think I'm going to end up playing college basketball and track at the same time.
Okay. Do you have a school that you've been looking at or anything, or how's that process gone? I mean, being a weird year like this, and you hear about it a lot of time. The big headlining sports, football, and Division I, and all these other things. That guys aren't getting a chance to be on tape, but it affects everybody at every level. And not having time to be out there on the floor and getting tape and getting recruited or getting a chance to probably, send tape off to coaches and whatnot. How has that process been for you to try and continue your athletic careers at the college level?
It's been difficult and it's also been not difficult at the same time. It's just
Mhm.
difficult because like track and field, it was taken away last spring and it's
Mhm.
also so I haven't done track in over a year. And so I'm emailing college coaches based off my marks when I was 15 years old. I was a sophomore the
Yeah.
last time I put in a track mark. And so that's really hard to tell a college coach like, yeah, I was a sophomore, this is what I did. I'm now a senior and I have no idea what I can do. And so that's really rough. And because we did have a soccer and basketball season last year, so I
Mhm.
have those films, but I don't have anything track wise. And
Yeah.
so that's definitely the most difficult thing right now. And I feel like all track athletes are going through that right now, and
Mm.
all athletes in any sports are going through that right now because we don't have anything to give coaches that is recent. We just have really past things, and so it's kind of just up in the air. And college coaches are definitely going through that too. Is like
Yeah.
with recruiting, they don't know. It's
Mhm.
a bunch of unknown right now.
Yeah, everybody's gonna have to adjust on that front there. Um, are there any schools in particular that you maybe on your wish list or that you've been talking to and maybe have a chance?
Yeah, I think I am gonna go play basketball and track at UCC for my first.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Great place, great program, a lot of success
yeah,
out there. And obviously, Sutherland has sent a couple of young ladies out there to be very successful under Dave Strickland. So that would be really awesome if that ends up working out the way that you're hoping for there as we talk with Jaydn Vermillion here. Coaching is a big thing. I'd talk about a good one there and Dave Strickland out at UCC, but you've got a great one at Sutherland High School for basketball with Coach Josh Grotting there. He's also the athletic director, so I'm sure he's got his hands in on everything for all of the different sports you play up there. But what kind of have been some of the messages you've gotten from him throughout this whole pandemic and all this shutdown and trying to just stay positive and stay focused as an athlete that isn't getting an opportunity to do what you were expecting to do during this year? What's been kind of the message and what kind of things has he done to help you kind of make it through this and stay focused and stay ready?
yeah. Grotting, he always is just like being super positive with us. I know people watching on the sidelines might not think so, but he's a super positive coach. He's like the best coach I've ever had. And a lot of the things he does is way outside of the basketball realm. It's a bunch of like, he just wants the girls in his program to be super successful and later in life, and it doesn't even involve athletics. And so he's just made sure to like let us know, like, hey, if you don't want to play college basketball, like don't play college basketball. And him being the AD, he kind of keeps us updated with the things that are going on. So he's kept us hopeful for a season instead of being like, oh, we're not going to get a season, like we don't need to put work in. He's like, no, like we're going to get a season, like don't give up. And he's the one, like he's really helping us keep our heads up and keep going.
Awesome. Well, Jaydn, it's been a pleasure to hear a little bit about the story and what the journey's been like for you here in the last few months. And definitely am hoping that you guys get an opportunity to play out on the court and play out on the fields. It sounds like could be a busy few months here coming up for you if you're able to get the chance to do everything that you have in your plan right now. So I really appreciate hearing the story and catching up with you, and good luck with everything, and good luck in the future.
Okay. Thank you so much.